What's up everybody, it's CJ Plays here, and I'm back with another Rockwood Island renovation video. So the house that we're going to be furnishing today is called the Moss. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. Technically you could squeeze in more bedrooms if you wanted to, but for my needs I only really made this into a 3-bedroom home. Now I got a comment in the last renovation video by Ileana, who was basically saying that they could see that house being used for a secluded writer who's working on a novel, and I like that idea so much that I was like, why don't I furnish the next house for a couple of writers? So the Sims that live here are both retired at this point, like they're really old. Now the husband was more so like the Arthur, you know, he had like a whole career, he was writing mystery novels and stuff like that, and then his wife was more so like a teacher. But I kind of like the idea of like, now that they're both retired, you know, he doesn't really write that much anymore, but sometimes he get the inspiration to kind of write, or he get like a little idea for something, so he'll like jot it down in his computer. But I kind of like the idea of him like having like a little officey space to kind of write some stuff, so I made sure to give him an office. And then for his wife, she's retired now obviously, but I wanted her to kind of be inspired by her husband's writing and stuff. But I feel like maybe she wants to start writing about her experiences as being a teacher and stuff like that, and having like, you know, classroom experience and all that, and like dealing with kids and parents and stuff. So I think maybe she'll get into like writing like teacher type books and like, you know, like what to do as a teacher type stuff. So I kind of like the idea of both of them being writers. Now of course the story just doesn't stop there, y'all. Like, yeah, this cute, you know, little old couple, you know, writing stuff, but their life was really peaceful until everything kind of got turned upside down. So one day they got a knock at the door, and it was their daughter and granddaughter. So apparently the daughter, she lost her job and she lost her apartment, and she had nowhere to go. So she turned to her parents for a place to stay, and obviously they're gonna take her in, right? They don't want to see her out without a place to stay. But they got so used to kind of, you know, the retired like lifestyle of just them two in a big nice quiet house, that now that they have not only their daughter but their granddaughter, and mind you the granddaughter is a newborn, so she's crying, fussy, and they're just not used to it. So they're trying to get like used to the new family dynamic of basically having a full house. So yeah, they're not like 100% thrilled, but they understand that life is hard, things happen, and they don't want to see their daughter and granddaughter without a place to stay. So it's kind of like they're kind of wanting to know like when she's gonna move out type stuff, you know, like, oh, it's nice that you're here, but be looking for a place, like a place to work and a place to stay. But yeah, so anyway, I kind of like talked over the bathroom. So the idea is like the first floor of the house is primarily like the parents' domain, you know, this is like their wing of the house. They're kind of old, they don't really want to keep going up and down the stairs, so I gave them a bathroom. I'm also giving the, you know, husband a little office. There's also like another office upstairs. You know, I feel like the wife likes to get around a little bit more than a husband does, so I did put like a little computer desk upstairs as well in an office. I also put like a little desk downstairs as well in case I didn't want to go upstairs. So there's like a lot of space to write in this house. So this is primarily like the, you know, the husband's office. He was always in here, you know, when the daughter was growing up and stuff like that, and he was actually like actively writing books. So I gave him like a really big nice fancy bookshelf. He has a nice desk, a little plant up as well, and I was trying to like figure out what other plants to put in here. I found that really big plant from the store, and I was like, CJ, you have got to use that somewhere in here. So I put it over to the side, and then I also wanted to put some curtains up in here as well, just to kind of have like, you know, some little extra something. I did use the 3D ST mod to kind of like raise up the curtains a little bit in this build. So moving on from there, this is the first bedroom that we're going to furnish. This is of course the grandparents' bedroom. So like I said earlier, I kind of feel like they kind of keep downstairs because they don't want to keep going up and downstairs or anything like that. So everything they need is pretty much down here. So they have their bedroom is by the door, so in case anything happens they can run outside, or they can go get help if they need to. So I kind of wanted everything to be kind of convenient for them. So I use the bed from the, I forgot, I think it's Into Nature or Into the Woods, something like that. It's one of the nature sets on the Sims 3 store. I used a bed from that. I also used the contemporary nightstands in here. I also used like a really big armoire from the Supernatural pack, and then I also was trying to like figure out how else I could like fill in the space for this bedroom. So I put like a little standing mirror right beside it. I think I used the one from the base game. I was like, yeah, they probably would use that quite a lot. I really like the way this bedroom looks. The color scheme is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I think it looks really nice. It's like a purpley like tan kind of color in here, and I thought it looked kind of cute. I also wanted to use like a chair in here too, just to kind of fill in some space. I also used a painting from the base game above it just to kind of like fill in the space a little bit more. But I really love the way their room looks. I realized that this room is actually kind of big, and I was thinking about putting a computer desk in here, but I was like, no, CJ, let's just not. Let's not. Not every room needs to have a computer desk, you know. I also ended up putting like a little lamp over there as well, and I also wanted to recolor the rug. But moving on, this little like middle section of the house, like I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this house was kind of hard to furnish. Like especially upstairs. You'll see me in a little bit. I struggled with the floor plan, but I wanted to kind of like figure out what to do with this little mid section, so I decided to turn this into like the kitchen / dining room. So I'm using some really old tile. It's CC. It comes with the world when you download it, so I used that tile. I also wanted to use like a really older like stove and fridge. The fridge is probably not that old though, but it's a really old stove in here. I didn't want to block off the windows too much, so I put the stove over on the wall and the fridge on the other side of the wall, just so we could have like a nice view of those windows and stuff. I also ended up putting 2 sinks in here, and I also put like a little food processor and also a little coffee machine, because you know they gotta have their coffee. And then I was trying to figure out what I could use for the dining table, and I was like, ooh, I know exactly the one I want to use. So I used the one from the Supernatural pack. It looks kind of like driftwood, I guess, or like a log or something that was cut up. And I thought it was so nice in this little area. I never use it for anything. I think I used the matching chairs more than I actually used the table, but I kind of wanted to use it because I kind of wanted to go for like a rustic kind of vibe for this house. It's kind of older and outdated, but it's not like as run down and old as say like the house from last week. This is more like a homey little family home, if that makes sense. I also put like a little trash compactor in here as well, a trash can. I did not want to forget to put the fire alarm in here as well. And then this is just the table. I also was trying to figure out how else to fill up this space, so I put a rug underneath the table. Of course, I replaced all the lights in this house as well. I went with that antler like chandelier that I used in the office, and then I also used like a little hutch to kind of go over in the corner. I used this really big rug from the base game, and then I put like a little chair as well. I think I used the chair from the nautical set, I want to say. But I gotta say, y'all, I love the way that this little section turned out. Like, I don't know, this house was just so weird. Like especially the upstairs portion, like the floor plan was just kind of weird, but I think everything kind of turned out really nicely, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out, y'all. Like honestly, I'm loving this house. But that's pretty much it for this room. Now the next room is gonna be a little bit controversial, I think. Like, I don't know, I like how the living room turned out, but then I kind of felt like maybe it didn't need to be a living room. It could have been like a sunroom or something. So the next room, as you can tell, has a lot of windows. I feel like this could have probably been like a sunroom or something, or like a skill building room, but I wanted to make this into a living room. And not only is it a living room, but it's at a slant. Like everything is at an angle, which is very weird to me, because like I like how it turned out. I knew that when I saw that TV from the outdoor living stuff pack that I had to use it because it's really big and it's really outdated. So I was like, the parents would definitely have something like that. Like I feel like they probably bought it in like the early 2000s and were like, oh yeah, this is top of the line, we're gonna keep this forever, and they still have it. So I wanted to like have a big like imposing TV, and then I was like, well, how else can I like make this work? There's also like this really big archway that connects, you know, the dining room to this room, and I didn't want to get rid of it, so I had to make sure to turn off move objects, turn it back on, just to kind of make sure that Sims couldn't maneuver the space. Now at the time of me recording this, I have not yet playtested the house, but don't worry, I am gonna go back and playtest just to make sure everything works. It should work though, but I want to like playtest just to make sure. So I ended up using like the couches from the 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff pack. I was trying to figure out what else to put in this corner, so I did put like another desk in here. I don't remember if I put a computer at it. I don't think I did. Oh yes, I did. I put like the old computer. Yeah, like I said, I kind of wanted them to have like some more space to kind of like, you know, be able to write and stuff like that. And then I was trying to figure out what else to put in this room, so I was like, maybe a fireplace, and I wanted to use the one from the Frontier Find set, and it could fit with move objects, but I felt like it was just too big for this room. Like it fit right, but it just looked too big. So I decided to delete it, and I think I used the one from the Aurora Skies world. I think that's where it came from. I can't be too for sure. I was going to use the one from 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff, but I was like, nah, let's just use a different one. I think this one just looks better, and it doesn't take up that much space, you know, so I think it was a better use of space. And then to finish off this room, I did go and put up a plant. I used like one of those big plants. I think it's, I forgot what set. I think it's maybe like the Jazz set from the Sims 3 store, but I wanted to kind of like have like a big like plant in here, you know. But that's pretty much everything for downstairs. So now we move upstairs, y'all. So You'll see me kind of struggle with the floor plan because I did not know what or how I wanted things to be. Like, I knew I wanted to have another upstairs office, and I know like I had to have the bedrooms upstairs, but like just trying to figure out how everything was going to work was just too much. So you'll see me now. I kept pausing and unpausing the recording. I like drew walls, deleted walls. It just, I don't know. I think what I ended up with was a lot better. So I ended up like putting an archway and like opening up one of the rooms to kind of be a little bit bigger. So the first room that we're going to furnish is the office space. As you can see, I kind of figured it out. So it has like a door, but it also has an archway as well. Basically, the office kind of leads into the nursery, which I feel like the nursery was probably like another room a long time ago, but they kind of made it into a nursery. So for now, the first room that we're furnishing is the office. I feel like the mom kind of used this room to kind of like work on her little books and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of like have this be a little bit more casual. So we have a couple of chairs in here, a nice rug. I put the computer desk in here as well and a bookshelf. And then I noticed that this room had like a little balcony attached to it. So I wanted to kind of put some stuff out here. So I put like a little swinging chair. I also put a couple of planter boxes as well, just to kind of like fill in the space a little bit more. You know, I feel like the mom probably wants to start planting stuff over here as well, you know. And then that's pretty much it for there. So now we have the nursery. So like I was saying earlier, I feel like this was probably like another room altogether, maybe like a skill building room or something like that, but now it is a nursery. So I wanted to kind of go for like a light green color scheme. You'll see that the wallpaper upstairs is a lot different than it is downstairs. That's intentional. I kind of feel like the daughter is trying to like modernize the upstairs. Maybe eventually she'll try to like modernize the wallpaper and stuff downstairs, but for right now, you know, she kind of made the nursery all cute. You know, of course the parents gave her some money, you know, and they all kind of like decorated it together. So I went with a really nice light green color scheme. It's a really big room as well. It's kind of awkwardly shaped, so I had to kind of like turn off and on move objects just to kind of squeeze some objects in. So we have the crib from the store. I think it's like from one of the animal sets. I also used like this little like picture over here as well. I used the dresser from Ambitions, and then I ended up using the S3DT mod to kind of move over this shelf to kind of be centered in with the dresser. I also used like that really nice bookshelf from Generations. These rugs also come from Generations as well, and I just kind of recolored them a little bit. And then I wanted to put like a little changing table in here, and I also had like a little baby monitor, so I put one in here, and then I also put one in the mom's room just so she can, you know, better keep an eye on the baby and stuff like that. I kind of feel like maybe at some point the mom will probably let the other sim that lives in this world, the one who has her house basically converted into a daycare, I feel like at some point she's probably going to want to like ask her to take care of her baby for stuff. Maybe like while she's job searching, or maybe when she actually found a job or something like that, she can have her take care of the baby and stuff. But moving on, this is the second room. So this is where the mom sleeps. I really wanted this room to intentionally be like outdated. So this is like the mom's teenager room, you know, when she like first moved out, when she was going to university. So I wanted this to be very, very outdated. So I used like the pictures from the 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff pack. I also used that poster that kind of looks like the Breakfast Club movie. So I kind of like put that in here as well. I ended up swapping out the dresser from Generations for another dresser, and then I was trying to like put like a bunch of funky looking patterns everywhere in here. So I have like some cow print, I have like some circles. It's a very like 90s inspired room, maybe like an 80s 90s inspired room, you know, so it's kind of jarring, but in a good way, you know. I also kind of feel like the daughter doesn't really want to be back home. Like I feel like she kind of liked having her own space. Life happens, things happen, and I kind of feel like she kind of wants to eventually move out, obviously, but she's kind of like content being here, but she doesn't want to get too comfortable because her parents kind of already have said it in so many words that she can be here for a little while, not a long while. So I feel like at some point she's gonna probably start looking for some jobs and a place to stay and stuff like that. But for now, this is her room, and you know, it's very outdated. I also put like a TV in here as well. I used the one from the Generations pack. This was like her TV when she was like little, you know. It still works, so yeah, that's her old outdated TV. And I also put like a little hanging chair in here as well, you know, just to kind of have some more furniture in here. And I also put like a plant. I think I used the one from the Island Paradise pack, I want to say. But that's pretty much everything for her room. And the only other room in the house that we have to furnish is the bathroom. So the upstairs bathroom, I made sure to put a shower tub combo. I also used the toilet. I think it was from the Regal set. I also put like a little rug as well by the shower. But that's pretty much it, y'all, for the entire build. I really love how everything turned out. If you want to download this build, I am going to leave it linked down below so you can check it out. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. Follow me over on Twitch where I stream a lot more of The Sims, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!